Hi guys, Mr. Smith here. This is going to be a lot more of a serious video, as if you are not aware of the recent events of the Grace and what happened in the Grace Discord and the document that I released. I'm not going to go too much into that situation, as I've already had a lot of harsh opinions and a lot of anger in itself. I don't want to go into too much about it, but if you probably couldn't tell from the severity of this situation and how the owner of Grace and his significant other, what their opinions are, I personally do not feel comfortable making content of their game or anything to do with it. And I'm sorry, I'm going to probably put this part in the beginning, but I'm sorry if there's like a lot of cuts or jump cuts, because this is just raw talking right off the head. I'm not reading off a script because I don't have time for that. And I just don't. I feel like it's going to feel a lot more real if it comes from the chest rather than a script that's pre-typed out. As a person of color, and it just makes me really upset to see someone that I not necessarily idolized or, idolized or looked up to, but to see someone who I had hopes for throw it away like that is just kind of sad. Especially since the situation could have been devolved right there and there, instead of procrastinating and like changing subjects or making excuses. So I just kind of wanted to talk a bit about the response, because I have read all three of them and I still disagree with all of them. I'm not going to go into much detail about that, but that's all I wanted to say. What I will make a comment on is that the last and latest response, which I will put up here, not going to go too into much too about it, but he basically states how he wasn't necessarily defending her and her views, but in the time that it took you to write that, you could have had this situation solved if you had said that from the beginning, rather than pointing blame or making excuses or using the absurd term as coping mechanism. And I will say that in the recent response, they didn't message about that and say how that was like incorrectly worded, but that's still something that is absurd to point out. One thing I also want to address is the backlash that they are currently receiving, which is not entirely necessary. I definitely think that their actions need to have repercussions. I definitely do not think that they should be doxxed or be harassed or send death threats. One of the members of the team recently was doxxed, and their own mother was doxxed too. That is not okay. That is something that people, no matter what situation it is, should not have to go through. Even if they are being ignorant or horrible, people should not be doxxed or threatened like that. Do I think they should be held accountable for what they did? Yes, I do. But that is something that was doxing and death threats are something that shouldn't be happening at all. So I do not, when I'm making this video and when I'm going to post it, I am not attacking anyone of the dev team, anyone on the mod team. I just simply wanted to state how I feel about the situation and feel about a community that I put a lot of effort into, and a game that I happen to like really much. This all started back a while ago. I don't have a specific date, but they were doing a makeshift giveaway for the Dozer plushie. And I thought, I'm not active in this community a lot. I don't even really play the game a lot. Here, let me just enter it, because it was like 2 clicks of a button. Not even a couple days later, I received a DM from Simon himself giving me the code and the congratulations for winning the plushie. And I was like excited for it. After that, it was just kind of hanging out and being more active in events that they were hosting there. The whole Mr. Smith bit and character that I put on for the channel came from a joke that was happening on a Grace stage. The original idea was to have them put me up on stage by myself, and I would read something to the whole bunch of people who were there. And then after that, it kind of just, I wouldn't say exploded, because it kind of just gained traction a lot more than I anticipated. It started as a joke of me reading Dogman Fetch 22 to me going on the stage and reading the Bible.
Tomorrow is Sunday. Tomorrow isn't classes. Tomorrow is Bible study.
Yeah, you're right.
Please tell me I do not have to read the Bible.
To me going onto the stage again and painting for a whole bunch of people.
Anyways. This is part of the painting. Cupid, while I'm trying to figure something out, can you give them some helpful artful tips? Art tips.
Yeah.
Happy active,
you know, happy little, what did I say?
And after that, I started being like, you know what, this is a community I appreciate. This is a community that I enjoy being around, because I may not have been around a lot of the people who like the game a lot, people who tended to speed run or like model or do any of that stuff. I didn't really do a lot of that, but I was more interested in the art side of the community, because I am a very creative person, I would like to say, and I am someone who values art highly, because art is one of my main things I like to do. So I was really invested in the art side of the community, and I wanted to, you know, make videos that was kind of like a joke, kind of like a gag about how to draw certain entities from the game. And then it kind of just, I had a couple, and then it kind of just happened where I wouldn't say I was a big face in the Grace community, and probably not a lot of people who aren't a part of this, on the part of the Discord, probably don't even know who I am, which is fine. But I feel like my voice and my opinion matters too. Now, for the future of Mr. Smith, I am officially no longer making videos or content on Grace. Nor will I be probably making any videos or content with the name Mr. Smith again. Now, for anyone here who enjoyed my content, or even like helped, or my content helped you in some kind of way, I appreciate you, and I really am grateful that I had an opportunity to make people smile and make people laugh with the silly things I did. And it's just something I feel like I could hold to heart for the rest of my life, knowing that I have that opportunity, I had that chance to, you know, make people, even if it was just distract them from something that was wrong in their life for a bit, or make people smile, even if it's about a game that we can all relate to. But that is kind of all I wanted to say about Mr. Smith. And so, to summarize it up, people who probably skipped over that whole segment, because I'll probably make it like all time scam, I'm no longer making Grace content. Mr. Smith is no longer going to be making content in general. The name Mr. Smith will most likely be gone as well, as it's heavily built off of Grace. And I appreciate those who are able to enjoy my content and had. Sorry, I just drew a blank again. There's a lot more I would like to say about this whole situation, but for the sake of not causing any more problems or spreading more drama, I am not going to speak out on that. But there is one thing I will say. Racism is not okay. Any form of it is not okay. Whether you say it in private, whether you say it publicly, whether you say it by yourself in the bathroom, it does not matter. Racism is not okay. Saying slurs you can not reclaim is okay. Having a derogatory vision and using slurs that are meant to put those people down and meant to make them less human is not okay, no matter what the context is. It is not a coping mechanism. It is not a edgy joke or humor that should be laughed at. It is something that is really serious and people deal with a lot in their life. I deal with a lot of racism within my own life, and I've dealt with racism before in the past. I have been discriminated against by adults, students, kids. It's just something that people of color have to go through. And same with the whole homophobia part. People should be comfortable being who they are. You should not be shamed or shunned for. You should not be ashamed of what you are. And people should not be using slurs or afraid of you because of what your sexual or dating preference is. It is something that is human and does not lack any common sense to understand that people are going to be different. And the fact that people are willing to be horrible people and willing to go out of their way to be racist and homophobic and transphobic and all of those things, I mean, it's just really shameful to me. It would be a lot different if the situation was a while back and has been resolved or just needed another apology, but there's proof that this racism and homophobia has gone on recently, like really recently. Like, I'll put probably another screenshot up here, but it was like really recent of how this was shown. But that is all I have to say for this entire situation. I want to give a special thanks out to 3 people who really pushed me towards putting on this character and getting out of my comfort zone with people and trying to make content that is fun for people. I want to give a quick shout out just to Cian, Pink Paradox, and Cupid. Pink Paradox and Cian, they helped me a lot with pushing out some of my videos, whether that be into random comms, which it just make more people see it and more people enjoy, content, seeing how welcoming the community is. That's kind of how I see it, is like my form of content is just welcoming. So having them be there to support me, give me ideas, and point out and help anyone is just fantastic to me. And Cupid was someone I looked up to because they were amazing at art. They pushed me to be better and not be afraid of what I do with my art. The way they handled the situation was mediocre at best, but they just have opinions that I do not align with, and that's all I will say. But it's someone that I looked up to, someone who pushed me in a direction and helped me be comfortable with making content and my art a lot better. And having someone there to talk to about art for me was something that I looked up to a lot, because I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be a concept artist like them, because I enjoyed the way that they were able to create things based off of others' descriptions or just in general. And I strive to be the person that they were, but I do not strive to have the same opinions as them. And it just really does kind of hurt a little bit to see that it feels inferior of all the time and stuff that we did. But I will not hold the grudge against them as in a person, because I want to show that situations like this I just want to show that situations like this do not deserve harassment. I know I'm probably just going on and spouting a little bit, but I want to just thank you guys again for the opportunity to be Mr. Smith, be who I am. It was an honor. So it was just kind of an honor to be who it was an honor to be someone who's made good content, who made content for Grace and helped people smile and make people laugh and have people either be inspired to send me art, Grace related or not. And it was something that I really enjoyed doing in the time, and it was fun while it lasted. But with that said, this will most likely be the last video on the Mr. Smith channel. I don't know. I was planning on doing a whole skit for the ending, but I no longer feel like that is a good idea. Because again, I just feel like I'm milking the cow that's already been milked enough, even if it hasn't been addressed over video yet. But I just want to say thank you guys again one more time. And with that said, Mr. Smith out.